Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll get started here in a minute or so and let everybody have a chance to log on. Thanks for logging on early and on time. We're excited to be here with you today.
Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for Water for People's Community Town Hall, where we're going to introduce to you the ripple effect. I'm Christine Mazzullo, and I'm the Director of Donor Engagement, and I'm going to pass it over to my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. I am Julie Kaufman. I'm a Business Development Manager at Water for People, and I'm really excited to have you here today to join us to be learning about the ripple effect. So thank you all for your time.
And hi, my name is Georgia David. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at Water for People. And ditto everything Julie said. This has been a really fun project to work on together, and we're really excited to share with you today. So thanks for being here.
We are. We started these town halls really as a way to bring the Water for People community together virtually. And they continue to be a great way to share exciting new updates with all of you, but also as a way for us to connect with you and just express our appreciation for your support. And so today we hope to share some information, as we mentioned, about a new fundraising platform that we've developed. But before we get into that, I just want to express our gratitude for our longtime partner and presenting sponsor, Carollo. So the agenda for today's town hall, we're going to just start with a very brief overview about Water for People and share a few updates. And after that, we're going to dive into our new fundraising platform, the Ripple Effect. And you're going to hear how some of our amazing supporters have fundraised in really creative ways, from canoeing to cookie eating. And all of their stories, we hope, are going to inspire you to make your own ripple effect. Finally, we're going to wrap up with a Q&A session. So thank you so much to those of you who submitted questions in advance of today's webinar. But there's also an opportunity during the webinar today where you can comment questions in the Q&A, and you'll see that on the very bottom of your screen. So as we're taking you through the platform, we hope that if you have questions, you'll post them there, and we'll answer as many of the questions as possible during the Q&A section during the second half of the town hall. So we'll start off with just an overview of Water for People. And, this slide really says so much. I mean, the numbers are really staggering and a bit difficult to comprehend. That top stat there that you're looking at, what it really means is that 1 in 2 people in the world don't have access to a decent toilet. And the 2.1 billion number that you see there of people without safe water, that's about 1 in 3 people that don't have access. The 200 million number that you see listed there, it breaks down to about 6 hours per day for women and girls collecting water in sub-Saharan Africa. And just to kind of give you an additional context for that, 35,000 women could graduate from college every day if they weren't walking that number of hours. So that's really sort of mind-boggling. The problem really is it's an enormous one, and access to safe water not only has health implications, but it also has economic implications and can generate can really impact generations. So Water for People wanted to imagine a better way to solve it, and not in terms of short-term fixes. And that's where our Everyone Forever solution comes into play. So the concept is really a simple one. It's ensuring that everyone has water and sanitation that lasts forever. But in practice, it becomes a little bit more complicated, and it's a really big shift. It's about taking the time and the patience and the resources to make sure that truly it lasts. So we focus in through our Everyone Forever model on things like protecting water supply, training mechanics, establishing supply chains for parts. And it means that we're thinking long-term at all times and really advocating for national water policies, creating local water and sanitation utilities. And we don't call the work finished until we're confident that the water is going to flow long after the work with the district. And this past year, you might imagine during COVID-19, we've navigated quite a few challenges in the 9 countries that we work. The extent of the virus outbreak, as well as the response in each country, has really varied. But throughout the year, we continuously monitored and quickly reacted to a constantly changing landscape. In addition, the readiness and rapid response of the water and sanitation officers we support in the districts where we work effectively helped combat the spread of the virus, and the health and safety of our teams and communities really remained at the forefront for us, with many of our global, if not most of our global employees moving to working remotely. And so while we couldn't complete this past year all of our annual monitoring for 2020, and there were some delays in evaluation efforts in some of the country programs, really the resourcefulness and the creativity of our teams ensured that Everyone Forever model work continued. And so really, despite all of this past year's challenges, we're still on track to reach 4 million people with reliable water services by the end of this calendar year. I think that's a real testament to the strength of Water for People and all of our partners and all of our supporters. So, COVID-19, it really underscored the importance of water and hand washing specifically globally, and really sort of shined a special spotlight on the work that Water for People is doing. And it's a really sort of wonderful timing because the goal is really to scale the Everyone Forever model. So, we're leaning into the momentum that COVID-19 kind of indirectly provided, and continuing our Everyone Forever work and scaling it through something called Destination 2030. And that's our 10-year vision to help countries achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 6. That's clean water and sanitation for all. And so to accomplish this goal, partnership and support from our amazing Water for People community is going to be critical, which is why we're especially excited to be here with you today to talk about the ripple effect. So I have a question, quick poll. Have you heard of a personal fundraising platform before? So let us know if you've ever heard that term referenced, or maybe you've done one before. Give you a moment here to participate in this poll. Seeing some mixed results. Looks like maybe results are still coming in, but about half, maybe a little bit more than half of the community here today with us have heard of a personal fundraising platform before. That's wonderful. And if you haven't, we're going to share with you what that is. But we have a wonderful example to share with you right now of a personal fundraising event. Our valued members of our Water for People community, Gary and Linda DeCock, you can see their picture here. They canoed thousands of miles to fundraise and raise awareness for Water for People. And so in just a moment, you're actually going to hear their story through their words. But after they share their story, my colleague, Julie Kaufman, she's going to start us on a tour of the Water for People's new personal fundraising platform, The Ripple Effect. So let's hear from Gary and Linda.
Hi, I'm Gary DeCock. And I'm Linda DeCock.
We're going to talk a little bit about how we got started with Water for People. It was 20 years ago when I first met people from Water for People at WEFTEC in Atlanta. I was really impressed with the work they did and wanted to get involved with the organization. And so over the years, we worked here in Michigan to create a Water for People committee, and we've done a lot of work to try to put together some interesting fundraisers.
So it was only natural when we retired that we wanted to go a little bigger. So in a moment of insanity, we decided that we were going to paddle the 2,200 so miles of the Mississippi River. It's grown since then. We've paddled, we've done 3 more paddling expeditions, and we've raised over $60,000 for Water for People.
So we want to encourage you to think of ways to get creative, create your own fundraiser, help out Water for People, everyone forever. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Christine, for that background on Water for People, and for Gary and Linda for being sharing a little bit about their Paddle with Purpose fundraisers. They have done such amazing things for Water for People, and I know all of us here at Water for People look forward to seeing what Gary and Linda do next. So I am now going to walk you through a few of the pages of how to get started creating your own ripple effect. We will put this chat link in the chat later, but that is the page to get to the ripple effect. It's fundraised.waterforpeople.org. So that's where you can go and see with what I am showing you today. So there's a couple of ways once you get to that homepage to get in and get started on creating your own ripple effect. The first one is you can use that top navigation bar. And that's also where you can learn a little bit more about Water for People under the About, the Impact. There's some frequently asked questions. You can use the Get Started, as well as resources and support a fundraiser, which will share more information on those 2 parts later. But otherwise, down at the bottom, there are 3 buttons where you can get going. You can start an individual fundraiser. This would be something that maybe you're doing solo, whether it's, donating your birthday or anniversary or wedding, or maybe you're doing a race or an athletic event. If you want to memorialize or honor someone, you would do that all through start an individual fundraiser. Then you also can start a team fundraiser. So this would be something where you are doing it as a group and your team has a main fundraising page, and then individuals could have pages below that. So this works great for a competition. Maybe at your company, maybe your office is going to all do a 6K. And so you have an office page, and then the individuals can fundraise under that. Or maybe it's your company has a team page and the offices have different team, have pages under that. And then you can join a team fundraiser. So if somebody's already started that one and you want to join and create your own page and to support that fundraiser, that's where you can set that up under Join a Fundraiser. So next, we're going to go to the to start an individual fundraiser page. And this is what it looks like. You're going to start by showing, you're going to come in and you're going to have some participant options. And the first one is you're going to make a selection of what type of individual fundraiser you'd like to start. As I mentioned, you can do it in memory, athletic event, a special occasion, or create your own. So that can be as creative and interesting as you would like. You can also then create a fundraising goal, which you can adjust at any time. If you decide maybe you don't want to start a fundraising goal at the beginning, you can do that later if you would like. And then if you want to lead by example and start your first gift, you can do that here, or you can come in and you can do that later if you want to support your own fundraising. And then also you'll have a couple questions there about if you want to be anonymous or if you want to display just the amount of your gift without your name. And then this one is really cool. If you are associated with a company that is a supporter of Water for People, or if you're part of a committee through the American Water Works Association or the Water Environment Federation, you can use this drop-down menu to associate your company or committee with your fundraising team, which will give them a little bit of credit for the work you're doing. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, but if you are associated with a committee or a company, we do recommend that you select this. It's the only extra question you have to answer. If you do this and you don't see your company or committee listed, please email rippleeffect@waterforpeople.org and we can add that. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to let people just add. We have to do that through Water for People. So then if you go to the next step, oops, and I forgot we had a couple of icons here. So these are just pointing out a few of the items that you can see that I talked about in the different areas you can go. So, but now on the next step, this would be, so, and I guess I should have said on the individual team, then after that, you'll go in and you'll fill out your personal information and your email address to actually start the fundraiser. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Georgia. I forgot the order of my own slides. So this is where you would start a team fundraiser. So for a team fundraiser, the biggest difference is you don't select your category. It goes straight into a team. It doesn't matter what type of fundraiser you are doing. You're just going to name your team. And then you're going to set up a team fundraising goal. And again, then if you want to opt this into a company or committee to receive soft credit, you would do that here. Now, let's say you get to this page and you realize that, oh, wait, my friend Christine has already started in a team. So you could click on that button that says, I'd like to join an existing team. Or if you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to do this as a team. I just want to do it myself. Then you have that option there to do it as an individual. So let's say if your friends have already joined a team, you would do the join a team fundraiser. So you can do that from a couple of different places on the webpage, but this is what that first one looks like, where you can enter your team name right there. Or let's say you can't remember, you're like, oh, I know she called it. What did she call it? You can just click on search and all the teams will come up. So you don't have to know the team if you forget what they told you. So those are all the different ways to start or join a fundraiser. And once you've done those, what happens is we've walked through all the other steps and then you become a participant and you have this awesome and cool participant center. So this is really where, I'm going to say the magic happens. This is where you can set up your own personal page. You can add contacts. You can send emails. Georgia, if you want to hit page down real quick or next, that we'll see like on send an email right there. We have automated email set up. We have templates that you can use to send a link to your fundraiser to your friends and family in your network. So that is a great way to ask people. If you're not comfortable asking somebody to support your fundraiser in person, sending an email is one way you can do that. And again, we have these emails written that you can just tweak and change, but you don't have to write the full email. So that's a great thing. You can thank your donors who have donated to you. You can also set up your personal page and page down, please. And then if you want to, we said originally you could set a goal, but let's say you set a goal and your friends and family are just amazing and you blow your goal away. This is where you can change your goal, make it higher, make it, or set one if you didn't originally. And then you'll also see on this page, there'll be recent activity. If people donated to you, it'll show up under that. If you have contacts, it'll show up under that. And then you also can connect your fundraiser to Facebook. So this fundraiser example that we're using right here is already connected, but typically there, what you'll have is a box that'll say like, do you want to connect to Facebook? You'll enter your email address and your Facebook password, follow the prompts, and you will be connected. So then the next part, this is the bottom of your participant center page. It will give you a progress bar towards the goal that you set up. It will tell you if you've made a personal donation. Badges recognize your fundraising accomplishment. So if you've self-donated, if you have, if you've reached 50% of your goal, or you're a team captain, you'll see these different badges that'll come up on your page. You also can customize your personal fundraising page. So let's say if you're like Gary and Linda and you're doing Paddle with Purpose, you could maybe see if, Paddle with Purpose is the code that you want to put on your personal fundraising page to make it more memorable and easy for your friends and family. You can change the title, because everybody will get a page. You can change the title of your page to reflect what you're doing, or something fun if you want. You can change the body. Again, we have a standard text in here, but you can add to that or change it completely, whatever makes you more comfortable. And you can add a personal photo or video. On the next slide, you can see that this is what a participant center looks like. That is me. I am running a couple of 10Ks this summer, so we've been looking at my pages. I set one up just to see how all of this worked. And so this is what my participant center, this is what my actual fundraising page looks like that I can share with my friends and family to encourage donations. I added a photo, I added a little bit of a text, I added a title, and that's what your fundraising page will look like. You could also add a video instead of a photo if something you want to do. And then on the next slide, you can see this is what it would look like if you do your Facebook integration. So you can have, once you have clicked on the prompts through the participant center, you will be directed to Facebook, where you can share your goal. You can post it on your stream. You can share with your friends. Again, you can change the about, you can add posts, you can add updates, especially fun if you are doing something like an athletic event or something over time, where you can post updates like, all right, I'm training for my marathon. I just ran 15 miles today. You know, you donate, please donate $1. If you could donate $1 per mile for my 26-mile marathon, you can do updates like that, or that's how maybe you set your goal. Ask everybody to donate $26 for a marathon. But this is what it would look like on your Facebook page. And then also you will show up under the Water for People Facebook's fundraisers. So you are listed in a couple of places. And again, this is a great way to share and to really to get your news and network out there without having to call somebody on the phone and ask them to donate. And this also is, Facebook fundraising is a great way. If you have Facebook, we really do recommend that you do this integration with your fundraising page, because people can, most of us are very common with Facebook fundraisers. It's easy to donate using, a couple of different options. And it's a fun way to share your thing. You also, through your participant center, you can set it up that you can get an email every time that somebody donates to you, whether that's through Facebook or directly through your fundraising page. And then you can send them a thank you email, again, through the participant center, or you can post on their Facebook post and say, thank you for supporting. All of those are great ways to do this. So, the best fundraisers share their fundraising in several different ways, whether it's social media and email, word of mouth. Those are great ways. And also you want to follow up and say thank you to those who donated you. So I now want to share a little bit about somebody who used Facebook to get their fundraiser started. So this is Isam, who is an AP Black Award winner at AWWA, and he was recognized at the recent virtual ACE conference. But it all started on Facebook, when he was congratulated, and another friend had said on there, I will pay good money to see you eat cookies like Cookie Monster during your acceptance speech. And so that challenge was put out, what's it worth to you? And they decided to support Water for People for this, so that we're very excited and honored that they did this. And then you can now watch the video to see what he did. Oh no, the video went away.
I can share directly from YouTube. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
It's not a webinar or a town hall without a little bit of technical, right? So yeah, we will share those. Hang on just a second with us.
Sorry, it's not pulling up. We might have to skip this video, but we can put it in the chat later for everybody to watch.
Yeah, but it was great. He, at the end of his acceptance speech, he did eat cookies like Cookie Monster. So it was a lot of fun, and we really appreciate Katie and Isam for sharing this video and for raising funds for Water for People. And now I will turn it over to Georgia to share a little bit more about how you can do this.
Thanks, Julie. Sorry about that. Yeah, Isam's video is definitely very entertaining. So I would highly recommend to watch. Maybe I can get it going here a little bit later if I stop screen sharing. But that was a wonderful introduction to the ripple effect. Thank you so much, Julie. I feel like you have made my part really easy because you've already touched on a lot of things about how you can get creative and really use this for whatever your talents and interests are. The first two examples, as Julie and Christine both shared, between Gary and Linda and Katie and Isom, hopefully opened a little bit of the floodgates of your creativity. But if you still want some more ideas, here's some great ways to get you thinking about what are things that you can fundraise for. So run a race, as was mentioned by Julie, with the 10Ks on there, and then similarly with the paddle with purpose. You can run, walk, bike, swim, sail, paddle. There has been a big push for a stand-up paddleboarding competition lately with one committee. All sorts of ways that you can either race for fun, for miles, as a team, individually, but plenty of ways that you can use your athletic talents to showcase and fundraise on behalf of Water for People. The second one, organizing an event. So this could be similarly organizing a team for a local race, a raffle night, outdoor movie, set up a silent auction, etc. So lots and lots of ways to creatively start an event on behalf of Water for People. Hosting a sale similarly. Donating your special occasion. This one was touched on a little bit. As you can see, the 4 logos at the bottom, the special occasion on the far left, that's a big one that we're encouraging people to do. I'm sure you've seen this, or maybe you've participated in it on Facebook, donating birthdays or donating special occasions. There was a lovely couple that a few years ago donated their wedding registry to Water for People. So lots of ways to be able to share your special occasion with Water for People, which we are very, very honored to be a part of. Second to last here, and you can see kind of the second one in on the bottom row as well, in memory. So honoring a loved one, whether that's paying tribute in memory or in honor of someone. If it's someone that's in your life that's special that you want to honor, who is still living and with us, or otherwise, you can make that a very special and touching tribute to somebody in your life. And then lastly, and probably the largest category of all, get creative, create your own. So really, truly, as you saw, well, you didn't get to see the video, so I apologize, but as you saw with the screenshot of Katie and Isom, no limit to what you can fundraise. They raised $6,200, more than $6,200 by Isom being challenged to eat those cookies like a cookie monster at the AP Black Award ceremony at ACE, which is an annual water conference that was held last month. So completely unique. We really, really encourage you to get creative and do whatever it is that makes you excited to fundraise and share Water for People's story on behalf of our organization. So if again, and I think we'll probably all three continue to say this, if you have questions or need guidance or want validation that your crazy idea is worth your time pursuing, which spoiler alert, I'm sure it is, you can reach out to rippleeffect@waterforpeople.org, and we can walk you through any questions you have, and maybe even give you other examples of people who've done something similar to that as well. And so with that, you might be asking yourselves, well, what type of resources do the Water for People have? Which, if you're asking that question, great question. I'm here to share some 4 really, really great opportunities for you to utilize Water for People's resources to really give your campaign an extra oomph, or frankly, for you even to understand a little better about what Water for People does before you embark on your Water for People fundraising journey. So on the site that Julie had mentioned earlier that we'll share in the chat later, which is the Ripple Effect site itself. So all of this is housed here. We're walking you through all of this, but really this could be your own journey that you walk through on the Ripple Effect site itself. But here are 4 resources that you'll see listed on the resources page. The first one being videos. I'll kind of take you through these in the next couple slides. Second one being materials, so logos, presentations, flyers, etc. A lot of branded materials that you can use to Water for People up your page or your emails or your Facebook page, etc. Stories. So this, like I had mentioned at the beginning, maybe this is something that you can read up on if you're so interested. You can go through and sort through by stories in particular countries or stories on particular topics. If you're really interested in sanitation, for instance, you can use these to fill on your page itself. You can use these maybe in emails. You can use these these stories really to just humanize what you're doing on behalf of Water for People. And then lastly, and most importantly, I think for everybody, is photos. I think as much as you can bring these lovely images of individuals in the 9 countries where we work, getting access to clean water and sanitation, I think the better. Our work can sometimes feel geographically quite far away, just because of the nature of where our work is and where likely a majority of you are located. And so being able to bring in faces and people and images that really exemplify Water for People's work, I think that really helps to make campaigns feel really, really touching and connected. So with that, I'll show you just a little bit of what it looks like. Here's videos. So this is it would link to our YouTube channel. You can scroll through and see lots of different videos that Water for People, our marketing team, has put together, which are amazing assets for you to utilize. You can put these on your fundraising page itself. You can put these on your Facebook page, share these in emails, whatever you would like to do. There's some funny ones if you keep scrolling on our YouTube page that are a little shorter. There are some longer ones. Our manifesto video is a great one, which you'll see kind of highlighted up there at the top. But all sorts of videos that, similarly, as I mentioned with photos, would really do a wonderful job of bringing the work and the impact to the people that you're trying to communicate with in your fundraising community. Secondly, materials. So this is what I mentioned about all of the branded assets. So you can see kind of the titles up here on this page. Once you click on these and you're on that brand folder site, it would take you to each one of these. So for instance, printables, you would go there, it would show you different flyers that you could utilize. Logos are on here, virtual backgrounds. If you're doing a lunch and learn about, your fundraising campaign, you want to be branded on that, you can use virtual background, all sorts of things that really can hopefully, again, help to amplify the Water for People presence in your fundraising campaign. Thirdly, the stories, as I mentioned, you can see up here some of the different categories. Once you select this, it would pre-populate with the stories that are associated, whether it's a certain topic or a certain location where we work. But this is a beautiful, I get lost on the stories page often because it's such a touching testament, as Christine mentioned in the beginning, of really the creativity. Frankly, we're encouraging you to get creative, and I think it's a really good tribute to the work that our colleagues do in the 9 countries we work, and the creativity that they have especially been doing in the last year and a half, but particularly working with the individuals that are affected by this work around the world. So please feel free to dig in here and enjoy these beautiful stories. And then lastly, photos. So it would link you to our smug mug. So again, you really don't have to remember any of this other than just hopefully this is helping give you a broad perspective of what you can utilize. So on that resources page, again, where those 4 icons are, this is where each of them would lead you to. So that last one, photos, you would click here and it would take you to the smug mug album. So a basic photo album, again, just kind of listed by the countries where we work. You can kind of toggle through. All of these are safe for you to use and have consent by each of the individuals in these photos. So just beautiful images that you can use throughout your own fundraising campaign and see which ones really speak to you and really hopefully make you excited to fundraise on behalf of Water for People and start your own journey. So those are all of the resources that you will be able to utilize on that resources page. But that said, something that I think I really appreciate about our team here and in general Water for People is that our ears are always open. We always love feedback. We want to hear what would be helpful for you if there are other additional resources. So we have just a little poll here. So what resources would be helpful for you to start fundraising? And if you don't see it on the poll of the answers that you would want to say, please feel free to use the chat. You can directly put it to the panelists themselves, or you can do attendees as well if you want to get a chat going. But here, so what fundraising resources would be helpful for you? Nothing, I'm good to go. Specific details on how to. Video showing registration steps, which I'm realizing too, as we're saying that, and what Julie just did is a perfect way we can maybe cut her portion on this and share it on our website. She walked everybody through so beautifully. But again, if you have other ideas too, we would love to hear them. Feel free to use the chat, email us later. I recognize a lot of familiar names on here, so you're welcome to just reach out directly too. So thank you so far. About half and half, I would say half are saying nothing, I'm good to go, which is exciting, great. And the other half are asking for either specific details or videos showing registration steps, which is helpful. thank you very much. That gives us a good idea as to how we can continue to bulk that up. But as I said, we would love for feedback as you go through this, and if you have questions or additional resources that would be helpful, please let us know. Lastly, Julie walked you through kind of those three main areas of creating your own individual team, or rather creating your own individual fundraiser, creating a team fundraiser, or joining a team fundraiser. So let's say you're not ready to do any of those at this point, or you have something set for next summer and you're like, but what can I do in the meantime? Great. This is just to support a fellow Rippler. So for instance, if I wanted to, I saw that Gary and Linda were doing another, I forget the word that you used, crazy or insane or something that you'd used, Linda, but I would say amazing, another amazing journey. And I want to go in here and find their team or find their fundraiser. You can get to this page by two different locations. So you can find this on the bottom of the homepage. So if you're scrolling, you're like, I want to find somebody to support, you'll see it right at the bottom, as well as on that main navigation tab at the top. You can see on the far right, it says support fundraiser up there. Either way, it'll take you to the same place, but you can just search either by a participant or by a team. So you can look on there and say, yep, this is who I want to support. If you know your company's doing one, if a friend is doing one, hopefully you're already on kind of maybe their radar or their email list or Facebook, etc. But if not, and you want to search, this is a perfect way for you to support the ripple effect, even if you're not creating or starting your own team at that point. And so with that, we have another video to share here. So I think.
Hi, my name is Elle. I'm 8 years old. And
can you hear that sound okay? Does that sound loud? Okay. It was.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. It was a little quiet when we first had it, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody could hear this. So I'll introduce our lovely fundraiser, Elle, here. So Elle had put together a school fundraiser on behalf of Water for People, and we asked her to share her story with all of you. As you know, hopefully you took away from my part of this presentation, there are so many ways that you can get engaged and support Water for People. And so this is just one of the ways that we hope will inspire you to start your own fundraising journey. So I'll let Elle take it away.
I'm going into 4th grade. Last year when I was in 3rd grade, we had a fundraiser for the organization Water for People. And what Water for People does is they help people who don't have water that is fresh, so they build wells for them closer to their homes, so then they don't have to walk for water. They also build restrooms for them, so then they have somewhere to use their restroom instead of walking over to a river to pollute it. And I'm here to talk about water problems in the world. So people all over the world lack clean, healthy drinking water, and people die from not having fresh water. But people can also get very sick if they have the unclean water. It's very important that they don't drink the dirty water because it can make them very sick. When acid rain falls through the sky, it will bring the air pollution back to Earth's surface with the rain. That's bad. It's bad because we can't get any more water on Earth than there already is. Now, most of the percentage in the world of water is salt water, and as you know, we can't drink salt water because it will make us very dehydrated and more sick than we would be just drinking dirty water. So we need to clean up our water. Dirty water is a very bad thing. Did you know that some people in different countries, mostly girls and women, have to walk miles and miles every day just for dirty water? As annoying as it sounds, they have to do that because even the dirty water will help them with their everyday usage. But dirty, polluted, and unhealthy water, if they drink it, then they would get very sick. And because they don't have good hospitals in those areas, it's a very big problem. Water pollution also affects animals because animals also need water. Cows need water to produce milk, and we need milk. And also plants need water to grow, and we need plants to eat and live. And that's where you come in. You can help by donating money to the company Water for People. What they do is they make fresh, clean water wells close to the village homes. They also give the village homes a restroom. So please, help this cause for a better Earth.
So again, hopefully that gave you some joy. I think that Elle and her creativity of this was all on her own. I think Kelly Latham is on here, which is a colleague of ours. So it's a colleague of ours, friend's daughter, who had heard about Water for People through them and was so inspired to make her own fundraiser. So if you've seen the impact calculator on our website before, this is what that looks like. Elle raised $575 alone from her campaign. So that's what she was speaking about there, is this letter that she had written and shared with her classmates in order to fundraise on behalf of Water for People, which is, I mean, astounding and quite inspiring. And I hope that's what you walked away with as well from Elle's video. And every dollar that you give to Water for People multiplies. And so that's what this showcases, is Elle investing her $575 that she raised for Water for People and leveraging co-investment, creating investment in water and sanitation, and the time that women and girls and children stay in school, women and girls don't have to walk for water, generates 7 times that impact. So this is the impact calculator number that ends up investing back into the communities in which we work, which is roughly $6,100. So this is just a testament, I think, to both Elle's work and then also the incredible fundraising efforts that you all do. You've obviously joined this and stuck with us for this long, which means that hopefully you've either already fundraised on behalf of Water for People or are interested in learning more about doing that. And so we just want to take a moment to thank you, thank Katie and Isom, thank Elle, thank Gary and Linda, thank all of the incredible people. We already have one campaign started on the ripple effect before we've even done this, so thank you to them. The investment and the time that you are putting into fundraising on behalf of Water for People means so much to us and does so much, as you're hopefully able to see from this powerful graphic. And so with that, this is again where you come in. So thank you again for all of your support. We really just want to encourage you to get creative and make your own ripple effect in whatever way, shape, or form that takes for you. We're really excited to see all of the fun fundraising efforts and initiatives to come. We have one last poll, which is, hopefully people are excited about this. Do you see yourself fundraising for Water for People in the future? We hope this has inspired you and motivated you to kick off your own fundraising journey in whatever way that looks like. So here's our last poll today. See yourself fundraising for Water for People in the future? Yes, no, or undecided. This one might be yeah, we're seeing some good responses, which is great. Again, thank you for spending your morning with us, or afternoon, depending on where you are, maybe evening. Most all have said yes or undecided, which is great. For those saying undecided, I appreciate you taking the time to be here and learn more. Hopefully after this too, as you delve into the ripple effect, maybe that undecided will change to a yes, and if not, maybe you can support someone who is. So with that, we have got just a few minutes left. I'm going to pass it back over. And Christine, I think, had one Q&A already that was shared that we'll get into.
So one of the questions that was submitted in advance, and maybe that is among some of the undecided, was it's hard to ask for money. So what's some advice that might make it easier? And certainly, with fundraising, there are sort of best practices. I mean, the first is really just asking. So many people get nervous about asking, but sometimes it's as simple as that. It's putting it out there as a possibility, and maybe it's how you language the ask. Instead of things like give or donate, it's much more about partnering or supporting. I think that many of the resources that Georgia had shared in her section, the stories, the images, the impact, those are really important to share in making the case for somebody. Why should they support Water for People why should they select us as an organization to receive that support? And maybe most importantly is why Water for People's work is important to you. I think that is probably the primary reason that many of us give to family, friends, colleagues when they ask us, and that's understanding what's important to them and why it's important to them. So hopefully that's just a couple ideas that might support you in feeling a little bit more comfortable with fundraising. We also received a question during the webinar here. Will the athletic event fundraising type allow a donation pledge per mile? And Julie, did you want to take the answer on that one?
Yeah, so unfortunately right now the ripple effect you can't like do a pledge per mile, but what you could do is maybe you could set your goal. Let's say you want to run a marathon and you want, $1 per donation or $1 per mile and maybe 10 people to support you. You could set your goal at $260 and then and put that into your participant center. You could say your goal, and in your description of your story that you can put on your participant center and share on your page, you can say that, I'm asking for pledges or donations of $1 per mile. So while you can't officially accept, a per mile pledge, you can put that incorporate that into your goal and into your wording on your participant center page. I think would probably be the best way to do that. Thank you for that question. That's a great question.
It is a great question. And I don't see any other questions that have been provided live in the webinar. And I think that generally most of the questions that we received in advance were just about how the ripple effect works. So hopefully that will give you a good sense of how this fundraising platform works. And we want to thank you all for being here with us today. And we're hoping that the stories that we've spotlighted here from some of our community of supporters inspires you to want to start your own ripple effect. And we are here to support you. So as you have questions along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. And we look forward to all the creative ways that you might fundraise. And I think we're going to wrap maybe with our thank you video, which some of you may have seen, but we just thought this is a great opportunity. You can really never say thank you enough. So we'll wrap today's webinar by sharing our thank you video.
Sometimes the words thank you just aren't big enough. Meet Doña Erika, a community leader, mother of 3, advocate for clean, sustainable water in Honduras. Erika's smile comes easy because recently, her dreams have been on the fast track to coming true. As the secretary of her community's water board in the district of San Antonio de Cortez, Erika has helped create dramatic transformation in partnership with Water for People, and thanks to your generous support. Thousands of people, 62 schools, and 4 health clinics had achieved reliable water access throughout the entire district. However, this past year took some challenging twists and turns. First, COVID-19 dialed up pressure on the need for clean water and hand washing. Then, Mother Nature wreaked havoc. Honduras was hit with a devastating pair of hurricanes, Eta and Iota. They ravaged Erika's country. In the district where she lives, 34 water systems were damaged, and 17,000 people were left without reliable water service. In an instant, years of hard work were destroyed. But as you might expect, optimism burns brightly within Erika. The process of rebuilding has already begun. In spite of all its tragedy, this past year has taught us all to live with a grateful heart each day. At Water for People, we simply could not do what we do without you. Your support ensures hope for Erika and others like her across 9 countries around the world. So while these 2 little words may not feel big enough, please accept them with our most heartfelt intent.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. And we look forward to joining with you and having a ripple effect. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.